What's up, Thumpers?
Just fucking partying.
Welcome back to another episode of Hyper Heroes here on Hyper RPG. Super excited to be back another Thursday talking about the latest news in the superhero realm. We got some sad cancellations. We've got some potential discussions on the future of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Maybe a spoilery photo from Avengers 4. We're going to talk about all the things. We also did watch the second episode of Titans. At the end of the season, we'll probably do some sort of a recap, just like you were saying, so we don't end up doing a week-to-week discussion. Mostly because like there are so many superhero shows. If we do it for one, we're going to be here for 3 hours talking about every single episode every single week.
Absolutely.
And
be careful, Naeem. Next time you do that, be careful. Okay. All right. Got to shout out Justin Quatch. Happy birthday, Justin Quatch.
Justin, happy birthday, man.
Quatchman.
Happy birthday to you.
Quatchman.
The
Quatchster.
The only thing I will say about the Titans episode, they should just
Justin
named it like
Quatch.
Birds of DC.
Birds of DC.
Birds.
Happy birthday to you.
And I'm also on episode 8 or 9 of Daredevil season 3.
Man. You've been hyping it up.
Dude, it's great.
I know. I heard great things.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Hector, you are full-time, fully like immersed in DC right now, aren't you? Mostly?
Kind of. And I also remember when we watched Iron Man earlier this year?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to go and watch all the MCU stuff.
Nope.
Right.
I still haven't started The Incredible Hulk.
Are you serious?
I am so far behind.
Jesus Christ.
That's why I haven't seen Luke Cage season 2,
Oh my
Iron Fist
God.
season 2, or Daredevil season 3 started it yet, because I was like, I want to do everything from the beginning.
Yeah.
I wanted to have it all under my belt, all the TV shows, before Avengers 4 next year.
Good luck, bro.
You're too
It's not going to
backtrack,
happen.
homie.
I'm too backtrack. On top of
Yeah.
that, we just did Simpsons season 1 this month, so season 2 is going to happen next month. On top of that, the DC stuff. So Titans, like when you bring on one show, one a week, I can handle it. But I'm also like powering through Young Justice right now.
Sure.
Oh,
in
okay.
anticipation.
Show.
Yeah.
In anticipation for season 3, and that show is amazing. And I got past the point that I last watched.
Yeah.
So because it's on DC Universe, there I am. Hi, I'm so sorry. Let me put this over here. Because it's all on DC Universe, I can actually go back and like I rewatched what I watched before, and now I'm powering through, and it's all new to me. And then I'm almost done with season 1, and then I'm gonna do season 2.
Jesus.
So
Hector,
Young Justice is dope.
I gotta commend you for your completionist mindset, because I would go fucking crazy.
Tyler Beckett says Hector is the nerd overachiever.
Yeah, you are.
That's true.
I'm doing something similar, but I'm not doing it with superheroes.
What are you doing?
I'm
Halloween?
in this. Yeah, I'm in this weird place right now, and I don't know what it is, but I'm kind of like
The Upside Down.
Yeah, I'm in the upside down because I'm not really like deeply venturing into superhero stuff right now. I'm sort of like taking a break. I want to watch what was it? The Hill on the Haunted.
The Haunting of Hill House.
Haunting
I
of
started
Hill House.
watching that too.
Did Cynthia watch it with you?
Dog, no, hell no.
no.
I didn't think so. I did not think so.
I wanna
Wait, is
watch
Akasan
that.
in the chat? Say what's up to Akasan.
Where?
Look,
What
people
time
are
is
saying
it in Japan right now?
Yeah,
I know,
It's probably like
super late.
3
Oh
in the
yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
Hey,
Or
what's
like
up?
2
What's
in the
up? What's
afternoon.
up?
Yeah,
Thanks for joining,
Akasan?
man.
Thanks
How
for
you doing?
Thanks for getting in the chat, homie.
Yeah, thanks for jumping in.
Haunting of Hill House.
Haunting of Hill House.
Fucking crazy.
I heard
dope.
it's
You
like
gotta
one of
do
the
it.
best horror things that's like out, and the way that Zach describes certain things, I was like, yes.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
all
really
it's
about it.
actually it's pretty
Highly recommend
brilliant. And honestly, I'm only on episode 3.
Oh,
I
really?
just finished 4. It was good.
It's
Damn.
yeah,
4
it's
is
real
about
good.
Luke. It's good.
Okay.
Oh
okay,
man,
good.
I cannot
good.
wait. But
I
yeah,
feel like I have to have it in the background because I'm so scared of like being scared that I'm
Fuck,
like
your hands are cold. Get your hands off of me, dude. Why are your hands so cold? Hector, shout out 4K, please. Fuck 4K, dude. Fucking
thanks Arashi for the $5 tip.
thank you so much, Arashi. Hey, shout out to 3D.
shout out
This
to
dying medium that nobody
passive
likes.
man.
3D glasses.
Oh god,
That's where it's at. Those are the
Passive
shit.
3D glasses.
Oh man, but yeah,
Real 3D dog.
Shout out to Ant-Man and the Wasp. They just came out on Blu-ray
Oh,
physically,
did.
and I gotta wait till December
Till next month?
to import it from the UK.
You
Oh,
mean
right.
your
December,
you mean your
damn.
one DVD sale is not driving the market?
should I pre-order mine too?
I'm just kidding, Hector.
I've tried, man. I've talked to
I know
people
you're
at
trying.
Disney. They
You
did
sent
not
him
give a
straight to the
shit.
fire
I know.
They did not give a shit.
Hector, I want to support your cause so much.
You know what we gotta do? We gotta do those 3D screenings. We gotta do what we can. We gotta make
Yeah.
a little 3D society.
Our 3D
We do.
society has to get off the ground,
We
and
need-
this is
we need to
something
do
that
it.
the chat doesn't know about. This is in the background.
Yeah, this is the background. We're talking about doing
Yeah.
some local screenings and stuff for movies, and you know, once we have details, we'll hopefully have something to announce soon.
But if you own a 4K Blu-ray, you're not invited. You cannot come.
Fuck you! I own 4K and 3D.
I know. You can come.
All right,
you can come.
cool.
You
Check
have
that
to
out
have
tonight. Thanks.
a 4K tattoo and then a 3D tattoo right under it.
No, a 4K
So.
tattoo in 3D.
In 3D.
That's
okay,
right.
yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
That would be a cool tattoo. Little 3D glasses.
Oh,
I'm surprised you don't have one yet, Hector.
Hector.
Yeah.
No, don't do it.
I mean, think about it. Just think about it. Just get 3D glasses tattooed on your face.
On my face.
Like the blue and the red ones.
They
the
gloss
anaglyph.
when he turns his arms.
Yeah, the anaglyph ones.
Yeah.
Life is 3D.
Christ. Hector, don't do it. No, but I've kind of been going on a Halloween binge recently because Emily hasn't. Yeah, that's
cool.
Plus, like Emily has never seen any of them. So we watched Carpenter's first one. We watched Halloween 2.
Well,
when we saw the new one.
But you did those before the new one?
No, we did the original and then we did the new one.
Yep.
And then now we're going back and we watched 2, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch 3 once we finish the Michael Myers story with Resurrection, and then we'll watch 3, and then we'll do the Rob Zombie 1 and 2. So
I try to sneak because they've been on TV, and I try to sneak one
they're
past
on AMC
Cynthia
all the time.
I try to sneak one past Cynthia, and the moment I turn to her, she's like, "What are you watching?" And I'm just like, "Nothing." And she's like, "Not in my house."
I tried to pitch the original Halloween and the new one as a double feature to Jess Puccinelli the other night because her and Pooch came by to pick up some equipment from my place. Yeah. And Jess also does not do horror movies, and I had to explain. I'm like, whatever you think you know about Halloween, it's kind of wrong. Yeah. Because the original movie and kind of the new one's not too bad. Not that violent, not that gory. Sure. The original is mostly suspenseful.
It's suspense,
It's suspenseful.
Yeah. It's tension. The first one's just nonstop tension.
And she was even like, I heard the new one, like, what is he, like a superhero? And I'm like, yeah, he's always been, like, he's the shape. He's this
He got
human.
shot, fell out of a window, and survived.
I shot him 6 times.
So I didn't say that. I didn't spoil it, but I'm like, yeah, it is consistent for it's almost like I'm not scared that it could actually happen, as opposed to the movie like The Strangers, which I still haven't seen, which is Liv Tyler and her husband that are in a home in the woods, which always creeps me out because I'm a city boy, to be in the woods. And then it's just a home invasion story with people wearing masks. I'm like, that shit could happen. So I will never see that movie because it's too real.
Too real.
But Halloween's not real. Yeah. Like, Michael Myers cannot exist in our world. He's his own entity, this horrifying, like suspenseful, stalking
I'm the
thing.
opposite way. Like, if it's real, it doesn't scare me. But as soon as it comes to, like, demons, ghosts and shit, I'm like, nope.
I get that.
Not today, Satan.
I was also
today.
I was also just trying to pitch to Jess. I'm like, look, man, this new movie that just came out, it broke the record for the highest-grossing movie starring a woman over 50. Yeah. The story is very female-centric and female-empowering.
It's 3 generations.
Yes,
of
that's what the new
characters.
one. And when you watch the original and know it's Jamie Lee Curtis's first role, and then you go to this new one, like, that's kind of special. Yeah. That those 2 movies exist. So I was trying to pitch it. She's probably gonna be no, but it's like
it's gonna be a no.
It's like I was trying to pitch to Cynthia. Like, Cynthia's one of the smartest people I know. Yeah. And I respect the hell out of her. And when I see people like that, they go like, nope, not doing scary movies. I'm like, yeah, but some are good. Like, you're missing out on some good art. You're missing out,
I completely agree. And it sucks that I can't share my love of those movies with her because I'm like, look, these movies are great. But I've been there, like, when she does catch a glimpse of it, and I'd rather just not. I'm just like, okay, cool. You don't want to watch it?
Watch cartoons.
Yeah, no, back to Friends. Back to Friends.
No. Did either of you guys get a chance to see the new Halloween movie?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah, no.
Hector's
in
his own world.
James Tyler, is that
go.
racist? Hector is wrong. 3D is a Mongolodian gimmick, not Mongolian.
Mongolodian.
Like
Mongolodian.
Of a mongoloid.
Like a Mongoloid.
No, it's not, James. You should probably not talk about shit about you don't know anything about. 'Cause it's not. Learn more about 3D.
It takes a lot of time and effort to actually do 3D
watch more 3D
stuff,
movies.
So,
Watch more 3D movies.
Yeah, I agree.
Would you tell that to who's the director of Hugo? Martin Scorsese, right? Yeah. He did Hugo.
Scorsese, yeah.
Would you tell Scorsese that he is a mongoloid? No, it's fucking Martin Scorsese. Like, okay, don't do that.
You call James Cameron's efforts for Avatar Mongoloidian?
No,
I don't think so.
No,
Mongoloid can't make that movie.
No, exactly.
So,
but yeah, I did. So I guess I saw you. You haven't seen Hector, the new Halloween movie?
I did.
Oh, you did see it.
I liked it.
You liked it?
I had a good time.
Nice.
I saw your review. You were like, some worked, some didn't.
Yeah.
Overall, though,
I would say it was like I'm like 85% into it.
Yeah.
So when I see the rating on Rotten Tomatoes, like 80-85%, I'm like, okay, I can mostly agree with that.
Yeah, there's a couple of, without spoilers, there's a couple of things they did with some characters where I was like, but then the ending was really strong. Like, I liked it.
And I found out from our buddy, well, I won't name names, but I found out what the original ending was supposed to be, and they definitely went in and like did a good job of turning it up to a 10, because it was apparently it was very sort of like anticlimactic, the original ending of what they did for the new Halloween.
Gotcha.
They found a way to do, because I thought the cat and mouse game through the house was tight. Yeah. It was real good.
Oh, it was great.
It was really, really fun. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Check it out, bro. I have to watch so many movies now. I've been watching the shows, so I'm behind on Venom.
Same.
I haven't seen Halloween yet.
Yeah.
Which
Guys,
other ones
just
came
see First
out?
Man.
I'm probably just going to call it on Venom. I don't think you two are going to go see Venom in theaters, I don't think.
I might actually go this weekend.
Yeah, actually.
Because I have time this weekend.
I'm going to go ahead and say you will not
I
this
have
weekend
a movie
go
pass.
see Venom.
Or not the movie pass, the AMC A-list pass. Because there's nothing else that's out.
Isn't there something coming out this weekend?
No.
No, but
This weekend, I don't know.
I'm going to say you're going to stay home and watch Netflix stuff or just keep powering through
I don't know,
Halloween.
I got 3 days.
I still got some Netflix.
I can't watch Halloween because Emily won't be here.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
all right.
Fair enough.
All right.
so I don't know. Maybe you'll have to marathon something again.
Okay.
But let's talk a little bit about what's happening
let's finally
in
get
the
into
world
it.
of superheroes. Wonder Woman is shifting its dates. It's being delayed by 7 months. It's going to be shifting from November 1st, 2019 to June 5th, 2020. I don't really think that this is that big of a deal. I know a lot of people on the internet, as usual, when movies get shifted around, it's never when they're moved up. It's always when they're delayed that people always start talking shit about these movies and that they're going to be a train wreck and all that sort of stuff. The original Wonder Woman came out June 2nd, 2017. This movie is basically going back home into its June slot, more or less. The first weekend of June.
And wasn't Patty Jenkins the one that was like, she's coming back home or something like
Gal
that?
Gadot. Gal Gadot posted a tweet
Yeah.
about Wonder Woman basically just coming home to original release spot, and I'm totally fine with it. I think this is also to avoid the Joker movie, which is going to be coming out in October. So it's like, why have Shazam, a Joker movie, and this Wonder Woman movie coming out so close together? Space it out. You've got Shazam.
When's Shazam coming out?
April.
Oh.
So I think they just didn't want to have to have 2 movies.
Of 2019,
yeah,
right? Next year. But then Joker is coming out
next year in October.
October, yeah.
And Wonder Woman was supposed to come out like 3 weeks later. So I get it, wanting to like maybe put a little more space.
Right.
Move
and
the Wonder Woman movie to June.
Something tells me that maybe the hype, like they're even though they're releasing a lot of behind the scenes stuff for the Joker, it's getting a lot of good hype.
It is.
So they're like, you know what? Let's not have these movies
let's not have it compete
whatsoever.
Sure.
Yeah, and also it gives the VFX artists more time to work on stuff, which is always a good thing.
That's true.
Yeah, and I think next year in the winter it's a pretty crowded. There's a lot of movies coming out.
Star
Wars, and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's totally fine. I don't really think it's that big of a deal.
I like Tori's comment. This doesn't bother me. If Gal said it moved to its rightful place, then I'm chilling.
Yep.
Same,
Tori,
girl, same.
Tori dog. Yeah.
Tori dog.
Annoying Rancher, thank you so much for the $10 tip. Hey guys, hope you had an awesome trip. A channel called Beyond the Trailer has reported that sources attribute the Wonder Woman delay to reworking the ending into a soft reboot a la X-Men Days of Future Past. Thoughts? I think that was debunked.
Yeah, and
I think there was discussion that it was going to be some sort of a like Flashpoint style story. I don't know.
Whatever
the
track record is of that particular YouTube channel, with like scoops or whatever, like I'm not gonna pay attention to scoops and shit.
No. Yeah, I think we've been in this long enough to know when to take rumors with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
You know what? Does it even matter in the long run? Because we're gonna get what we're gonna get. So
no, I don't think it does. And like even was it Chris McKay came out on Twitter because he's been off of Twitter for a while, I think. But he like recently responded to somebody asking about the Nightwing movie, and he was like, "It's still gonna happen. It's just gonna take a little bit longer, but it'll eventually happen." Okay. And I don't think that Warner Brothers needs to rush into anything. It's like, just make the movies at your pace.
Yeah.
Just focus on the story and the characters.
You know what? I will say this. It's never been about rushing Warner Brothers. Like, I don't want Warner Brothers to rush. Yeah. What I want is somebody or someone or some producer or some thing to come along and be like, here's our plan.
Yeah. Sure.
And I want to rush to the plan because I feel as though that hasn't happened yet, and
it feels like it happens but then doesn't,
and that worries me. And that's what I want, just because it's not about, hey, you guys got to put out 3 movies a year with these characters like Marvel does. You guys got to do this and this and this to get to this, to get to this, to get to this. But it is like, look, you have these incredible actors, and Gal Gadot has been Wonder Woman 2-3 times now, and there's so many great stories to tell with that character, but I want to see that character interact with other characters as well. And it doesn't have to be a huge thing, but just like, just little things here and there. I'll give you an example. Like, to see Chris Pratt and Chris Hemsworth interact as Peter Quill and Thor was like, Mwah. Yep. Now, could I see a whole movie of that? Yeah, but they did it in one scene.
Right.
If we never get another movie where those two characters interact, like, I'm fine. You know what
I'm saying? We can look back on that and just rewatch that moment. We don't need the movie.
I still want, and going back to compromise, they gave us a Justice League movie, but that Justice League movie did not have a Green Lantern, didn't have Martian Manhunter, it had a Superman with a weird face, like these compromising things where I'm like, I just want the Justice League Unlimited, like I just want the
classic,
I just want them,
and you want those icons.
Is
and
part of that.
Weird? They have all those characters in
their
the intro.
In the intro,
yeah.
So the intro is like the intro's like, check out what we got. We'll get to one in 3 years.
And we might not even get to the rest.
And it's fine. It's like I don't want you guys to just poop these out to rush them, but I want somebody to look at that lineup and go, here's the plan. And know, like, plan-wise, like, hey, guys, good news, we'll be able to have some of your favorite characters kind of existing in film at the same time. Because right now, Henry Cavill might go away. Do you know what I mean? Like, Ben Affleck might go away. And that's fine, but there were great actors, and we could have had those two characters, two actors, those two versions of those characters, like, do more within the universe that they live in, which is
I thought we didn't get a Superman sequel to Man of Steel. I'm like, come on.
You know, like,
I think that... and once again, I'm going to go back to the hype around the Joker. I think they're kind of waiting to see how that pans out. Because think about what they might be able to do if the Joker's a huge success.
Yeah.
They might be able to brand this Wonder Woman we don't know what's going to happen with the Justice League. We don't know what's going on with Batman. We don't know what's going on with basically any of the other characters. I mean, Aquaman's still kind of in the air. Maybe they're gonna brand that as like, hey, that was another offshoot of our whatever.
Sure.
Other worlds type. Here's the Joker, but this is the direction that we've been talking about for a while that they might go, just like one-offs of every movie.
Yeah.
And eventually get to like an Elseworld story in which the Justice League comes together.
Yeah.
You know?
At this point, it could happen, but at this point, if Warner Brothers has yet to like even name what the franchise is, the Man of Steel through Justice League series of 5 movies, 6 movies. How many is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies so far.
Yeah.
And then Aquaman is going to be the 6th, and then Shazam will be the 7th. Like, if they have yet to like even define that in those ways, I think back to when Marvel Studios was doing The Incredible Hulk, and people were like, is this a sequel to Ang Lee Hulk? And Kevin Feige said, we're going to treat Ang Lee Hulk as if it's a what if, as if it's an alternate universe. He used those comic book terms to clearly define, no, this is not included in the thing.
Right.
And then their new thing is like, this is the thing. It starts with Iron Man, and we're going to keep going. And even if people are like, is the Hulk really included? It's like, yes, William Hurt has been brought back from the thing. Like, the thing, this is the thing. No. So if Warner Brothers has yet to do that with their franchise so far, I mean, soft reboot talk, whatever, like, I don't see them, like, looking at the Joker and going, okay, well, now we'll brand a bunch of stuff. I just feel like they'll just, like, not even talk about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
like,
I agree.
They'll just cast a new Superman, cast a new Batman, and people ask them, like, this new stuff you're doing, is Man of Steel a part of this world? And they'll be like...
and never answer.
Jeff Johns?
And
they'll be like,
say nothing.
And they'll be like, here's what we're planning next.
You know,
don't even worry about it.
And a part of me like gets that, even though like as a comic book fan, I'm so frustrated with like, just name the universe. Like, what am I going to call this thing? Yeah. But another part of me gets it that they're just going to be like, don't
even worry about it. This is movies. You're thinking too much about it.
Just like fine, I guess.
I'm also fine with if they have been sort of figuring out some sort of a game plan for these movies, these Elseworld stories, if they're going to do more outside of like just the Joker movie, and now we found out that they brought in Alfred and young Bruce Wayne, then I'm like, I personally don't need to know your plan. If there's a way for you to communicate to the audience that you have one without just like telling us everything. Yeah. Because as much as I love the fact that Marvel announced their entire Phase 3 lineup 4 years ago,
and it's changed
all the way to
then.
2020 or whenever, or 2018. Yeah. I thought that was really cool. Part of me also likes to be surprised.
And now that's happening now because nobody knows what Phase 4 is going to be.
Sure.
Right. So it's like, I think it's a tough thing to figure out when is the appropriate time to do that. When do we announce?
I'm honestly pretty glad that this year at the DC panel at Comic-Con, they didn't announce anything beyond the movies that they were there to promote. Because like the last 2 years that we were there, the lineup has changed. The Flash movie drastically became Flash to Flashpoint. We're like, what's happening?
Yeah. So I love the fact that they were like
nothing about Green Lantern.
It seems like I'm glad they're
just like Aquaman, Shazam, and Wonder Woman, and that's it.
Whether this is their plan or not, it seems like they're just being like, okay, give us a couple years, we'll build up some goodwill.
Yeah.
Which
I'm fine with.
People reacted to our 2016 two movies a certain way. It's like, fine, okay, give us a couple years to let us show you what we got with Shazam. Yeah. Let's show you what we got with Aquaman. Yeah. And then you got Wonder Woman 2 coming out, and now that people are like, DC, awesome, what's happening? Yeah. Then they'll be like, here's our phase 1, or here's our plan. Here's our 5-year plan. You know, that will culminate in another Justice League movie, except this time with like new actors and stuff, and like a Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter. Yep. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I still want Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck.
Yeah, man.
Everybody does.
Me too.
Everybody does.
There's still a part of me that wants Jared Leto Joker.
Yeah.
No joke.
Oh, hell no.
No joke. Because
we can end this conversation.
Because it's this consistency of like, he is a good actor.
Yeah.
And if another writer came along and was like, we're going to take out the grill, we're going to take out the tattoo.
David Ayer even was like, maybe I went too far.
Like, this is, it's like, you're the Joker in this world. You're the Margot Robbie Joker to the Margot Robbie Harley Quinn. Like, you're the Joker. But this is now your story. This is going to be your look. Like, there are talented people that could pull that off. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Just to keep that consistency.
I'm not against any of those. I'm honestly, even with how I feel about Batman vs. Superman and how I feel about Justice League and Suicide Squad.
Jesse Eisenberg.
I'm not against those actors coming back. I just want them to have better material to work with.
Yeah.
So
I'm so not down with Jared Leto coming back. And the only reason I say this is because I think it was 2 nights ago they were showing Suicide Squad on TV, and so I was like, "Am I?"
You know what? It's been 2 years since I've seen that movie. Maybe I'm like, it's okay. No, maybe I need to rewatch it.
I rewatched it, and the Joker was even worse than I remember.
I'm definitely
just like,
we've got about 8 weeks is it until Aquaman comes out?
Something like that.
Yeah,
you're gonna marathon them?
I'm gonna marathon the entire DC universe.
Oh God,
or DC. EU, whatever it is.
May it's not called that.
I know.
May baby Jesus bless your journey, because that's what you're going to need to get through this.
It is the DC Films franchise is what it is so far.
DC Films franchise.
It would be fascinating to go Man of Steel and then go through all of them and then finish Justice League and be like, okay, Aquaman's next. Like to see the evolution of a couple of years.
And my hope is to walk out of Aquaman and be like, that was worth the pain.
Yeah.
right.
Because I mean, I don't dislike all of them. There's only like a couple of them that I'm not a fan of. But
Man of Steel, I like.
Same.
Batman vs Superman bums me out. Suicide Squad is like bad but entertaining.
Sure.
There's things. It has its moments. I'm like, dude, like Will Smith is good. Margot Robbie's good. Like I don't like the costume.
I would rewatch it for the one scene at the bar.
Yeah,
that's a good scene.
That was the one scene I'm like, Wonder Woman. Is what this movie could have been.
Yeah. I love Wonder Woman.
Oh, Wonder Woman.
That movie is fucking great.
Yeah.
And then Justice League has like fun moments, and it's just like all over the place.
Yeah, it's all over.
But it's still not.
There's no consistency.
It doesn't like bum me out.
I'm just saying, rewatch even just the beginning of Suicide Squad, and you'll be like, that Joker's fucking rough.
But man, such talented teams.
I know.
I agree.
Do you know what I'm saying? In front of the camera, behind it, like
I think we've been through
Worlds
this. Like
of DC,
the actors are not the problem. Like,
no. Yeah.
I don't have anything against Jared Leto per se. Like, he's talented. He's an Oscar winner, for God's sake. Like, he's there. But just the material that he was given with, and just kind of like the attitude that David Ayer had.
Sure.
Where like they talked about his like
Joker.
His Cholo Joker, but he was like, no, it's cool. I'm married to a Latino woman. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's
really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, did you stand up in the theater? What the fuck did you just say?
What did you just say? Okay.
It's not my favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like that.
I don't like it.
All those things go into why I don't like that movie.
It's not ice cream and sprinkles.
And also, like, I keep wanting to give Batman vs. Superman another chance, but Movie Bob just re-uploaded his Is It Really That Bad series, and I'm just like, fuck, Movie Bob. Damn it, you're so right.
It's a really well put together.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if I do this marathon, I'm trying to figure out if I want to do the extended cut, the ultimate cut, I guess.
I say go theatrical.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because people really like the Ultimate Edition, but I feel like the Ultimate Edition is essentially the same movie, but just kind of more of it.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit more, but essentially, nothing dramatically changes in the story.
And I'm always...
There's maybe one thing that does.
I'm always of the mind of the movie that gets put in theaters, like, that's on everybody. That's not just one director,
Exactly.
That's why I'm not a huge fan of director's cuts.
Right.
Unless it's something like James Cameron did Terminator 1 and 2, and then it got away from him.
Yeah.
So all those other Terminators aren't really Terminator. Like, if you look at it like that, like, well, it's not really Terminator because James Cameron didn't have any involvement. I'm like... okay, I can kind of see that. And then that's why he's coming back with T3 with Linda Hamilton, which is
Tim Miller directing,
which is a thing I'm not opposed to. Do you know what I mean? So it just depends on the thing. But
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
We'll see. But in terms of Wonder Woman 1984, I'm totally fine with it moving to June.
Yeah. You do you, boo-boo.
Yeah, exactly.
As we always say. You do you.
We have a full faith in Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about something that's not so exciting, perhaps.
Okay.
Luke Cage. Literally last week, we talked about Iron Fist getting canceled, and now Luke Cage
It was
has
the
officially
day
been
after we recorded.
pulled.
So we recorded on Thursday night. Friday morning, they're like, oh, bye to Luke
By the
Cage,
way,
too.
bye-bye, Luke Cage.
Yeah.
So Marvel and Netflix made an announcement saying, unfortunately, Marvel's Luke Cage will not return for a third season. Everyone at Marvel Television and Netflix is grateful to the dedicated showrunner, writers, cast, and crew who brought Harlem's hero to life for the past 2 seasons, and to all the fans who have supported the series. I was a little surprised when I was reading this article that a lot of the reason why the show, because I think when I heard this, and maybe we all may have assumed this, we thought that because of the Disney streaming service, because maybe the numbers haven't been, the sort of the hoopla for these Marvel Netflix shows hasn't been so big with Luke Cage and Iron Fist, we thought maybe Netflix decided we're kind of done with this. But we found out through this article that there have actually been some creative differences happening behind the scenes. I guess the team who was writing the 3rd season, which apparently was going to be 10 episodes instead of 13.
Of Luke Cage?
Luke Cage, they turned in like the first drafts for the first 10 episodes, or for the 10 episodes, and Netflix and Marvel, I guess, could not.
Really?
Some sort of executive team couldn't come to a consensus on what they wanted to do with it. So they were like, they just severed ties and were like, meh.
That's kind
I guess
of a
no
bummer.
more Luke Cage.
I
and I don't know
also-
if that's the same thing for Iron Fist as well.
No, Iron Fist.
I heard the second season was better. But
Yes, but to me,
Still
honestly,
poo-poo?
to me, it was just that bad.
Okay.
Even though I haven't seen season 2, but season 1 is so bad that I don't want to watch season 2. But I have a feeling that both of these shows, and there are probably other shows that aren't getting renewed that we're not even hearing about, that are not going to get the funding that they thought there was before. I have a feeling that they probably have a tentative list of shows that are on the chopping block.
Well, the Marvel Netflix ones are the most expensive ones, I heard.
Okay, so see that makes sense.
They're shot in New York.
Right, like it's very well done stuff. Like if you look at the cinematography and the choreography in Daredevil season 3, you're like, this is full on like
money.
movie studio quality stuff, right? And so with that being said, I have a feeling that they have a tentative list of shows that will continue, shows that will not, and chopping block shows that are just like depending on the ratings.
And you're saying this is like Netflix because they're in the hole right now. This
Well,
is like
according
is Netflix stuff.
according to this article here, I just wanted to get my facts straight. As of September 30th, 2018, Netflix reported $8.3 billion in long-term debt.
8.3.
8.3.
I'm sorry,
billion,
$8 billion.
$8.34 billion in long-term debt. This is according to Variety, up 70% from its $4.89 billion to the prior year. So yeah, they're in that much debt, but they are also making so much money that they can afford this debt.
That's the thing with a company like Netflix, because they bring in so many new subscribers every single month.
Right.
And like some of their movies get released theatrically as well, even though it's for a limited time. And like, yes, they don't make huge amounts of money.
Right.
But like, Netflix is that thing of like money comes in, money goes out, money comes in, money goes out, money comes in, money goes out.
So this is why this article came out, because they reported that they are willingly going into $2 billion more in debt this year. Just this year to fund these shows. So what I'm guessing is that these chopping block shows that are just like, well, you know what? These didn't do as hot as we expected. We have to focus this $2 billion in debt that we're about to go into on the shows that are like guaranteed hits,
especially because they know that Disney streaming service is coming out next year. So I think they're looking at it and going, let Marvel deal with it. Let Disney deal with it.
Right. So, and the reason why they can float this kind of money is because in 1 month, let's see where
the subscriber numbers?
So the proposed $2 billion in debt offers, it's coming. They blew past their expectations for subscribers in the 3rd quarter. By 7 million new streaming customers. So on top of everything that they already have, $7 million, ranging from $9.99 to like $14.99 a month, depending on what.
Yeah, because they still have the disc service, right?
That's me.
Yep.
They have they have regular streaming and then they have 4K streaming, which I think like you have to pay additionally for that.
So yeah, I mean, like they're making the kind of money to where like a $2 billion addition in their debt is no big deal, and to us that's fucking mind blowing.
And I think crazy enough, I think they'll find a way to make that money back in some way.
No, absolutely, absolutely, you know? and it's not just that. Like they're, and this is a whole different kind of negotiation and business standards that we have no idea how it works because there's so much money involved. To us, it sounds astronomically bad, but the stocks for Netflix dipped down a little bit in the last quarter, but the recent
I've been getting a lot of notifications lately.
They went right back up.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be fine. Like they don't necessarily just get their money from us. They have stocks, bonds, they have companies, they have all kinds of stuff.
Investors,
so it's not necessarily, and I'm sorry I'm boring you, Hector, but this is the logistics.
Okay. I don't understand Netflix. I don't understand how it works.
Right, exactly. Either do I. I'm just saying that according to this news, they are going to be fine, but I think that is what is affecting these shows
getting
being canceled.
What about this?
Canceled.
The fact that they announced Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
Heroes
led to speculation that it's like it's interesting that it's those two. It wasn't like Jessica Jones is being canceled and Iron Fist. It was like Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Could this mean that they could just combine the shows into Heroes for Hire?
Well, I mean, think about that. Like they have 2 production crews that they're paying for a team of superheroes that they can do one show about. Like,
so you're saying they can cut costs and like
exactly pay one team to make a show,
and the Iron Fist team goes away, and all of a sudden the Luke Cage team is brought back, but they're like told, hey, Danny Rand is your co-lead, so make this Heroes for Hire. Like
exactly.
Plus, and you know, if they could find a way to do it, maybe instead of doing 13 episodes, do what the Defenders did, make it an 8-episode special.
Here's the thing about the Marvel Netflix stuff overall. I really, really, really like it, and there are moments that I love, and I'm like, I can't believe we're getting this in a television show. This is so amazing. I can't believe we're getting these characters. This is rad. It is no longer an event when one of these seasons comes out, unfortunately. And from the very beginning, even from season 1 of Daredevil, like there are moments that slow down to where I love these characters, and people will say they're better for episodic television because they come from comic books than they are for movies. And I'm like, yeah, but movies are you're in, you're out, you're 2 hours. And maybe if Netflix can do it, I don't know with the legality of like, well, we have to do TV productions with ABC Television on a Netflix streaming service, and Jeff Loeb is the head of Marvel Television. I don't know what the rules are, but like if Netflix did just a straight up Luke Cage movie in 2 or 3 years, like, and put that out, it's like, I would tune in for that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like they could decide to do that with those characters. They could do Defenders 2. They could do Marvel Knights. They have all of those access to those characters that like the trick is are those shows inherently not interesting anymore because they're not new and everybody kind of knows are they like same? Do they have the same sort of problems with like there's always a dip in the middle of the 13 episodes? Like we've been talking about the 13 episodes, and yet we watch other shows that have 13 episode seasons and they're tighter and they're fine. Like, you know, Stranger Things season 1. Stranger Things season 1 was 8, but then season 2 was 9. And I really liked that bonus episode, even though people didn't like it. Right now we're watching The Haunting of Hill House, and it's like 10 episodes, and I'm like, this is phenomenal. And they know it's just very well structured to where it's like, is the problem that Luke Cage season 1, Iron Fist season 1 didn't do a good enough job structuring stuff to get people to, oh, I'm in for this whole season, to help the ratings enough to help season 2.
That's because it's like that's how TV works, though.
Right, but it's like Luke Cage. We all talked about when they got rid of Mahershala Ali. We were like, meh, not as good. The rest of the season, not as good.
And so also, like, there's got to be numbers, like tracking numbers in the background, in the metadata that we can't see. I'm sure they noticed that people literally just stop watching the show after
on
like
this episode.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Like there has to be that kind of information where they're like, oh well, people just fast forwarded through this part.
Retention is 20 minutes.
Exactly.
Is 40 minutes.
Forensic Chick says Sci-Fi put out an article today talking about the drop in social media interest in the Marvel shows from season 1 to season 2. I believe it, and I think we've talked about it so many times, but I think because it's not a movie, it's Netflix TV stuff, and it's 13 episodes, and it's a little bit more of like a different type of commitment. I think you don't put out more than 2 a year. I just don't think it's necessary.
Two shows. Sure.
Because we've had Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Punisher, now Daredevil. Like I feel like it's been a lot in the last few months.
Well, wasn't Punisher?
It was in November.
Punisher was
of last year,
2017.
It's almost been a year, but like for whatever reason, it feels like it's all happened so fast because we had so many. But if like let's say we had The Punisher in November, and then we had let's say we had just Iron Fist
in the summer,
and now we have Daredevil.
Yeah,
it feels a bit more manageable. I don't know. I just feel like we've had so much recently.
There's a lot going on.
There is a lot, and I think it also has to do with the correlation of why we didn't get any hype behind these shows in the first place.
The advertisements have been
Luke Cage season 2 dropped. I had no idea that shit was coming out. Iron Fist season 2 just dropped out of the blue, and I'm just like, so there's these 2 shows already.
Even with Daredevil season 3, like there were some trailers leading up to it.
Not a lot of hype though.
But not a lot of like. I didn't hear a lot of people talking about it, and then we did our show last week, and it was like, hey, by the way, tonight at midnight, Daredevil season 3.
Exactly.
And
we
now
were
everyone's talking about it like, holy shit, this is amazing, this is amazing.
Yeah.
The Kingpin is amazing, like everything is so good, yada da da. So yeah, I think there's also some sort of strategy, some new strategy they need to figure out on how they market these shows the week they come out.
I think we kind of might be looking at this with just like superhero content in general though, but think about like other things that they're doing that we don't really pay attention to. Like The Haunting of Hill House, where was the advertising for that?
But I think
nothing.
I think the difference with that is like it's not from a franchise or anything. Like Stranger Things was
original content.
Stranger Things I think had the advantage that because it was so stylized and because it was really all about like 80s nostalgia, E.T., what am I thinking of?
D&D.
Yeah, like that sort of stuff. And
Goonies.
like Goonies, like really hitting that. They sort of had something that they could like push it out. Like they knew how to market that movie or that show. Yeah. But with this series, because it really is just like it's a horror thing,
original content,
thing. I think
how
it's
do
harder.
we brand this as not being everything else?
I feel like with Marvel and Netflix, it should be easier to market these shows successfully.
I agree.
For people to know that they're happening.
You know what it might be? I don't remember any of the trailers for Daredevil season 3. I kind of know some stuff about it, but maybe it needs to be like, hey guys, in this season, this is the bad guy.
Yeah.
In season 2 of Luke Cage, this is the bad guy. Yeah. Right. They should have been like in season 3 of Daredevil.
Is so fucking crazy.
It's Bullseye.
It's so good.
They should have marketed it as Daredevil versus Bullseye.
Yeah.
You know, in the same way that whenever they get to Doctor Strange 2, okay, well, what are you going to make in Doctor Strange 2 to get me interested to come and see it?
Yeah.
Black Panther, the first movie was it's the first Black Panther movie. Let's all go see it. But Spider-Man Far From Home needs to be like, okay, here's how it's different than Spider-Man.
This is why you need to watch it.
This is why you need to come and watch it. So these seasons need to be marketed like movies where it's like, what is Jessica Jones season 2? What is it? And the trailers are showing us like, she's back, she's this, she's that.
Yeah.
Okay, but what is it? It's about her mom. Her mom shows up. Tell me in the fucking trailer her mom shows up, like, so that I know that that's the thrust of the thing.
I also know that there were some people who logged into their Netflix and who watch other things related to Daredevil and like Luke Cage and all that stuff. Literally did not get a prompt because you know how it tells you like watch things that like might be of your interest.
I had to search through it. Like I had to type in the letters.
So weird to me.
Do y'all not use My List? What are you doing on that?
I don't use My List.
Oh, I use My List all the time.
I don't use My List.
Is Daredevil not in your list?
I haven't updated in
Well, then
months.
that's on you, dear dummy, because it's like,
but if I
it's
have
all at my fingertips.
But if I have all those,
use Netflix.
But if I have,
Come
but
on.
if I have all those other shows and like I've been watching like Punisher,
that's fine.
It should be able like things you might like that are related, and the fact that it's not in there, I'm like that's weird.
Yeah, I had to go in and hunt for it.
I heard that problem too, but I was just like, how do you guys not have Daredevil in your like My List saved to where My List will tell me like, hey, this show has new episodes on my little thing.
I have that for everything except for
I used to use My List a lot back when like Netflix first started because that's how I could find my shows. But at this point, there's just so much content, and
dude,
my
let me
time
come over.
has been.
I'll organize your list for you.
Please do.
Because it bugs the hell out of me when people have a list that they don't care. Like they cycle through and there's a movie they saw 4 years ago. I'm like, get it out of your list.
No,
You've seen it.
You watched it
I
already.
have stuff on there that like has cycled
Dude,
on and
my
off,
list
on
is
and off
alphabetized. My list is like by franchise.
we know.
It's good
I've
to
been
go.
to your house.
None of that surprises
it's good to
me.
go.
None of that
it's
surprises
good to go.
me.
But this is within Netflix. And at one point they tried to take away my list, and I was like, Netflix,
Don't
you better
you
not
fucking
take
dare.
take away
really?
my
Did
list.
they?
Yeah, they did, and then they brought it back. I was like, good.
No, it's super helpful
heard you.
because you go
They
through
heard
and like, and especially when like stuff is like leaving, it prompts you like, hey, by the way, this is leaving at the end of the month. You're like, oh shit, watch it today.
And there's nothing better than when you get through a show on Netflix, especially, and like there's no more seasons after that, no more episodes, and I'm like, removed from my list. I'm like, oh, so good. And then everything just like shifts over. I'm like, yes. One day my list will be nothing.
I know.
No, that's not.
That's not the point.
Because it'll have it'll have Stranger Things, Big Mouth, and then whatever is like Daredevil and Jessica Jones.
Yeah,
those will be the shows on there.
Yeah, the only shows on there. No, actually, they're moving because they're going to Disney streaming.
Yeah,
so
eventually,
we'll see. Yeah, but it's true. There was a comment from Alex Ramirez before saying that they need to compete. So of course they're more than willing to kind of like spend all this money and all this sort of stuff. They got to be
they're the
competitive
leaders
in the
though. Like they're the leaders of this market right now.
They are the leaders of the market, but I think in a few years when all these other companies have their digital streaming services, like why would I not get the Disney streaming service to watch all these other Star Wars and
they
and
might
Marvel
be preparing for the Disney thing.
Yeah, I think Disney's going to be the biggest competitor potentially.
Probably. I have a feeling that they're immediately going to pull into a very close second, if not first.
They will. You guys need to watch Big Mouth if you haven't seen it. It is so funny.
I haven't seen Big Mouth yet.
Big Mouth is a hilarious cartoon. It's surprising.
You were telling us about that.
You'll see peepees and buttholes and boo-boos and everything in there, but it's
you were telling us about Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, as the voice of the vagina of the little girl. It's so funny.
That's right.
And that sounds horrific that I just said that, but it's like it's about teenagers and kids and stuff and people that are like 12 and 13 like figuring out sexuality and everything and it should be okay.
How does Dash say it in The Incredibles 2? Does she have puberty or something like that?
Is she having puberty?
Yeah, is she having puberty? Something like that.
So funny.
Like that.
Like with a mouthful of cereal. Like, is she having puberty? Yes.
Mighty Wombat's asking, is there any word on New Stranger Things? They're doing it,
nobody
knows when it's going to be coming out.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about potential spoilers that were revealed from the set of Avengers 4.
We should tell people that we are going to show a picture that if you probably don't want to see anything that has to do with the next Avengers movie, turn away now.
Yeah.
Just because I talked to one of my friends last night.
Yeah.
I was at this UCLA event and he was there. I was like, dude, did you see the picture? He was like, don't even bring it over here. He's like, he's like, I'm not going to watch any trailers. I'm not going to see any pictures or anything.
Yeah.
So if you're in that camp, don't listen to
Now's
this
the
right
time
now.
to maybe
click away, do something else, and then come back later.
Silence it.
Show the picture.
Boom.
So,
sick.
This is apparently.
I like that photo.
Apparently, this was taken by Gwyneth Paltrow, and she posted this on her Instagram, and it was very quickly removed. This is a picture of her, obviously in the rescue armor. There's been a lot of discussion happening.
Speculated rescue armor.
How does she make a boo boo like that? I'll tell you what.
That's a big old boo boo.
That's a huge.
That's like.
That's like I kind of wish I hadn't seen this boo boo.
Yeah. Well, honestly, at first when I saw this, I thought this is photoshopped, right? Like someone took a picture of her and like shopped this, but
dog.
Everything that I've seen is like
that is Pepper Potts, not only an Iron Man or a rescue costume, but she also has the extremist virus inside of her. Like,
well, at the end of Iron Man 3, Tony Stark said he could get rid of it. Like it's kind of
we don't know. It's ambiguous.
Did he find a way to harness the power to enhance the arc reactor?
That'd be sick about that. If in 2013 Pepper Potts got the extremis virus, and then in 2014, during the events of Captain America Civil War, she had it. In 2015, during the events of Avengers Age of Ultron, she had it.
But didn't
in
do
2016, when her and Tony Stark broke up, she still had it.
She still got it.
In 27, like she's had it in 2017 when she shows up at the end of Spider-Man: Homecoming, she's got it. Like she's gonna go into the conference room like, Tony, what are we gonna tell him? And then it's like, well, let's tell him we're gonna get married. She's like, okay, like
fire,
breeze fire. That'd be awesome if the whole time she's just been superpowered.
She's had it, but at the same time, so what I have a feeling is that she was trying to cure it, had failed attempts at curing it, and it's just there.
Sure.
So like it went through sort of a dormant stage, but there was no way for him to like completely get rid of it. So maybe it's a lower power now, but they're using it to harness a little bit of her, like harnessing it to power the suit or to enhance the arc reactor.
Sure.
So I'm okay with it, but now there's so much floating in my head that I'm just like,
well, plus there's so many speculations that this movie Avengers 4 is going to take place 5 years after the events of Avengers Infinity War, and there's going to be they're going to play with time travel and stuff. So like, Frank Grillo said that Crossbones is going to show up in a flashback in Avengers 4.
Yeah.
So like, I can't look at this and say, well, now we know that she's going to be in the movie in this armor, potentially like fighting fighting side by side with Tony and the rest of the Avengers to try to defeat Thanos.
That does not mean that.
There could be some sort of an alternate history that happens where maybe Pepper becomes Iron Man.
Right.
And, like, it's so hard to say.
Right.
Looking at this photo, I think it's really cool that we'll get to see Pepper armor up again because we got a little bit of it in Iron Man 3. I think it's cool. Like, I think it's really cool that maybe Tony Stark is on Titan. We don't know when or how he gets back with Nebula. What happens there? Maybe she feels this responsibility to take over to defend Earth from potential other threats that are happening, and she decides to become the next Iron Man.
I would like
temporarily
that. I think
forever. Who knows?
I think that it's a like a sure thing to have Tony Stark be so paranoid about the safety of his loved ones that he will give her this suit and ask her to suit up, and that's one take, and it could be really dramatic and sad and cool. But another take is like Pepper going like, you know what, Tony? Fuck you, dude. I'm going to get it. Like, give me a suit. I want a suit, which could be cool, too. Yeah. There's a lot of possibilities. This is a lot of possibilities. I really like Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts.
Yeah, no, she's great.
I really, really like Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the Goop in-movie advertising for her
Tony,
crazy
I forgot
lifestyle.
my Goop at home.
Yeah. I forgot to put my stickers on, the ones that were made by NASA astronauts.
Goop. It's not armor.
She puts stickers on and it turns into armor.
Tony, I'm Goop now.
Stickers.
Apparently it wasn't her Twitter. It was some unknown source.
Yeah, it was some. Apparently, but that'd be funny if she had a Goop logo on the back of her armor.
Comes down. It's Goop.
Look, Goop. I think we're really close to seeing the first trailer for Avengers 4. I believe last year when we got the first trailer, it was the beginning of November, and it's crazy to me that we're like.
War?
I think it's so insane that we're already a year from when the first trailer for Infinity War came out. It doesn't seem like it's been that long.
Yeah.
But it's about to be a year. It's about to be a year since we saw that first trailer.
Yeah.
So I think we're really close to seeing the first trailer for not Infinity War, but for Avengers 4. And I think we're gonna watch that trailer, and when it ends, we're gonna go, "What the fuck is happening?
I agree.
What is going on?"
I agree, and I think they're gonna drop a title in which it won't give away like.
I think it's going to build I think it's just going to build more speculation.
You know? Yeah, exactly.
I hope that the trailer gives a lot away. I hope that the trailers, because they're very good.
I hope it does, but I hope it's all misleading.
Well, I mean, think about it. If they're doing time traveling and they're doing alternate realities, it's probably going to be misleading.
What if the first trailer was like a trailer for a movie that doesn't happen?
Exactly. What if the first trailer is timeline? Everything that Tony did, they're showing Pepper Potts doing it. Like in an alternate reality, you know?
They're redoing like the MCU, but it's just like weird differences.
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
What if these heroes became the heroes?
Like Zendaya got bitten by a spider instead of Peter Parker. And she's
what if
like,
they do that?
Hey.
Yeah, exactly. So you never know because
that'd be a trip.
I mean, they have to if
that
all
seems
the speculation
too ambitious.
But think about it. If all the speculation is correct, we've seen characters on set in their original costumes, which leads you to believe that they're possibly playing with timelines.
Yeah.
So that isn't out of the picture. Like if they're playing with timelines, they could also be playing with dimensions, and that's something that you really have to set the audience up for.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your movie's gonna get confusing.
Totally.
Quick. Like you're gonna lose people.
I can't wait. But I think people are right when they say that. If the Avengers Infinity War trailer was that big, this one will be that much bigger.
Fuck.
Yeah, I agree.
This is nuts.
Because I personally, I honestly don't think I personally know anybody who walked out of Infinity War was like, man, it was okay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I don't think I do.
Yeah. No.
Most
and
people
all the
that
people that were like, all the people like it sucked, or they immediately follow up with it wasn't a complete movie, and then I'm like, that just means you liked it, and you're mad at the way it ended. So shut up, like
because you're gonna be there for the next one, you son of a bitch.
You're mad because this was not your happy ending that you were looking for. My only goal for this next trailer is to just have Pooch on. Just have Pooch.
Yeah, we gotta have Pooch.
Just us three and Pooch.
God.
Oh my.
Oh my God. That's all it's gonna be.
Watching Infinity War with Pooch was an event.
Yeah,
it was an event of epic proportions.
Yeah.
No, it was good.
Naeem was there too, wasn't he? With that screening?
Yeah.
Did you watch Infinity War the first time with us?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because I remember Naeem walked out of the theater and he just couldn't speak.
Yeah.
He was just like, "Did that just happen?"
And I was like, "Hey man, what?" I was like, "Hey man, I'm sorry about T'Challa, man."
Yeah, sorry, bud.
Yeah,
Jess, what are you still doing here?
Get out of here.
I got secrets, buddy.
Secrets? Tell us secrets
Good. You busy?
afterwards.
How's the movie been going?
It was amazing.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay.
All right. Please go home and finish Doctor Strange. Please.
Jesus. Hector. Leave her alone.
Because Jess, we're just talking about this thing that I want you to be able to come over and watch in 3D, Avengers Infinity War.
I can't wait.
It's going to be great. And you'll have until,
May.
really, no, because December is when I'm getting Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Right on. So you got a little bit of time.
Poor Jess. You've made this lifelong commitment to Hector Navarro's Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Say again?
I had the digital code to watch it.
Oh, don't. Did you?
No.
Cool, don't. Okay, great. Can't no, especially if you watch that before Avengers Infinity War, I would have ended our friendship. Like, no
He's
joke.
serious. He's serious. Yeah.
Don't.
I wouldn't have.
Okay. I know.
I promise you.
Okay.
I know you will.
I believe that.
Poor
I believe
Jess.
that. Pray hands and bow.
Quit putting pressure on people, damn it.
Yeah, I know, Hector. You're too pushy right now.
And I love that he cares about me.
That's all right. That's
Hector cares about all of us.
I do.
So
I
that's
want
good.
everybody to enjoy
Yeah.
movies and to like 3D.
When are you going to give the dog shit for not watching the
I know,
Avengers
right?
movies?
Dude.
Kaiju.
Yeah, I'm
Kaiju's
talking to
way
you.
behind.
Kaiju.
Yeah.
Kaiju, have you seen Avengers Infinity War? Kaiju, how many times? Kaiju,
He's
have
about to come over here and bite you and
Kaiju.
see, like, I'm a dog, bitch.
Kaiju, did you?
He's about to eat you, bro.
Kaiju, where are you in Daredevil season 3 though?
We're off the rails
Kaiju.
completely.
Completely off the
Kaiju.
rails.
Let's get back onto the next.
Kaiju.
What do we have next?
Let's talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy and
Oh,
whether
yes,
or not these characters could live on in Avengers 4, or we can never revisit them ever again, the potential of that story. So this is a very interesting article that came out, I believe was on the Hollywood Reporter, talking about, do we need Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? If they decide to not bring back, which they're probably not, they are not going to bring back James Gunn to finish out this trilogy. What? They're not going to. I doubt it.
They're
I
not.
doubt
They're
it.
They're not going.
I doubt
Look,
it.
man. Look, there's a possibility.
There's a possibility.
that-
that
There's
they're
always a
not going
possibility,
to.
that he goes and does Suicide Squad 2, and everything's
And they go,
chill.
whoops.
Yeah, and everything's chill, and then Disney's like, hey, would you like to come and okay, now it's fine. Maybe there's been some shifting of things. Maybe our CEOs and our executives, whoever made the dumbass call to fire you for a dumbass reason, like, they have decided that it's okay for you to come back and finish, like, and we know that if you did this movie, it would make us more money than if this person did this movie.
Sure.
There's a possibility that,
I
that,
agree.
it, that it
I
just
agree
takes
with you.
years. That it just because didn't they say that the production was moved to
Yeah,
2021?
They moved the Guardians 3. So they didn't move the date. Sorry. They took out the July 2020 date, which was for an untitled movie. Guardians 3 was supposed to be the May 2020 date. So what they did is they just took that movie off. So whatever was supposed to be in July got shifted to May. So now they have 2 movies coming out in 2020.
as opposed to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's off the docket now, but
Yeah.
it could be that 2020 or 2021 becomes the pre-production year for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume
Sure.
3. And it could be a huge deal if and when it comes back. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if it's not around for years and then it's like in 2022 the trailer comes out that's like like people will be like, oh fuck, they're back. Like that's a possibility.
I agree. I agree with you,
But
Hector.
please continue with this dumbass article. Please, Adam. Please continue.
Well, no, I mean, I think that the article did a good job of talking about, well, if James Gunn were to not be brought back to do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, what could take its place? How in what other ways could they explore the cosmic realm of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? So they brought up things like the Ravagers, particularly specifically the characters. I guess they were the original Guardians of the Galaxy in that universe.
Yes, they are from the 60s. Yeah, late 60s.
Which was Sylvester Stallone, Michelle Yeoh. They had
Starhawk. She was
yes.
Alita. That was Charlie 27 as Ving Rhames.
Yes.
Martin
Ving
X.
Rhames.
Martin X was Michael Rosenbaum. And then this dude, the sorcerer guy, I'm forgetting his name. I'm blanking on his name.
I
that
can't
Red
remember.
Dragon
Yeah, I
dude.
don't know who that
does
is.
like he does like Kruger does like a Doctor Strange thing.
Yeah.
And Mainframe was voiced by Miley Cyrus. That little
Oh,
robot
really?
head. That robot head is
Oh,
a character
okay,
named
interesting.
Mainframe.
Oh, that's right.
really?
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by Michelle Yeoh. Dude, Michelle Yeoh's the shit, dude. She's so
Yeah.
cool.
Which, like, to be completely honest, this would be a cool thing to see.
Sure.
Maybe not in place of Guardians, but in an addition to. Because you could still explore the Ravagers as well, and I think there's like potential other things that you could do with it.
God,
So that's
I
one.
would love for this to be a one shot.
Yeah.
I would love for
That's
this to
what I'm
be,
saying,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? On
Yeah.
the Disney streaming service, it's like right now CBS All Access is putting out Star Trek short treks, which are these short, like character-centric episodes or mini movies, vignettes. The first one was one called Runaway, and it centered around a character named Cadet Tilly, and it was fucking great. And it was very self-contained, and then they're going to put one out at the beginning of each month until January, where season 2 of the show Star Trek Discovery is released.
Right.
Marvel could do that shit on that Disney service where they're just like each month is like a new one shot where like this month Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye gets a spotlight for like a 20-minute story. This month it's the Ravagers. This month it's William Hurt. Oh, he turned into Red Hulk. Like like they could do that shit and just you know what I mean? Like that would be awesome.
Remember we were talking about that when it came to the Star Wars franchise. It's like how cool would that be to see little one-offs of like and I don't want to see a full Yoda history, but I want to see like a 10-minute short of Yoda doing some badass shit
like
when
800
he's like
years ago,
when he's like 30 years old. You know, so something like that. I feel like that's a market that's yet untapped.
Totally.
That could make so much money.
Think of like Gendy's Clone Wars.
Yes. And I just love the Marvel one-shots so much. I loved Item 47 and Agent Carter and All Hail the King and the Consultant and a funny thing happened on the way to Thor's Hammer. But like All Hail the King was so good and it just set up for like the Mandarin. Like
I agree.
They could be these brilliant little setups.
I agree. So back to this article. I feel like it is a big deal in our circle. But I talk to people at my job who love, like, they come into my office and they're like, "Oh, I love Superman. Oh, I love Ninja Turtles. Oh, I love I watch all the comic movies." But they could give two shits about who directs it.
Sure.
Oh, totally.
I get that.
They're just like, I don't care.
100%.
James Gunn's come back. I don't care. I just want to see Groot again. I just want to see Rocket Raccoon. So I as far as Disney goes and their movie making machine, they can make it without James Gunn.
Well, because like they're not advertised, like when you see the advertisements, they're not advertised as a James Gunn movie.
Exactly.
It's
No, I know.
Marvel's.
Right.
But I guess the counter argument to that is, without James Gunn, will it be Guardians of the Galaxy?
That's the argument.
I agree.
That's the point. And I think to some degree, yes, it could still be because James Gunn did not write every scene of dialogue and every scene and plot in Avengers Infinity War.
Right.
And there are things in that are so Guardians, but it's just like it's the Russos doing it. You know, it's the screenwriters of Captain America, the First Avenger, are tackling these characters because that's the beauty of this franchise, of this MCU, is that each of these characters are so well done that like Doctor Strange in the hands of the screenwriters is like that's still Doctor Strange. Like even if it's not the same team every time.
Scott
So
Derrickson,
like I'm not an idiot. Yes, of course, somebody else could come in and direct Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and it could be great.
Right.
It could be great. It could even be. There's versions where it could even be better. It could even be. You know, James Gunn is not a fucking god. He's not a genius. Like he's not the only person qualified to write and direct a movie. At the same time, it seems to me that his relationship with Marvel Studios up to this point has been so good that this feels like it's Disney going, nope, we're firing him, and it's Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios going, you know what? We're not even going to do this movie because on some aspect they give a shit about the creative integrity of this thing. And this isn't a franchise that like you know other directors and stuff have kind of come undone. Nicole Perlman wrote the first draft of the first Guardians movie, and then James Gunn came in and James Gunnified it. So it kind of is his thing, as opposed to like, look, Joe Johnston did Cap 1. The Russo brothers came in and did Cap 2. You know, they get to go and do Cap 3. Like different directors for each Thor movie. Kenneth Branagh did part 1. He's still
Taylor.
cool with Marvel maybe because he came back and did a voice. And then, you know, then we got Taika coming in. It's not like it's like, oh, nobody but Kenneth Branagh can direct Thor. That's not how these characters work. But I think that a huge part of the reason Guardians is successful is Gunn. And it especially because he's been working on these 1, 2, and he turned in the script for 3. It feels like it's a thing of like respect. It feels like it's a thing of like he did intend to finish it out. He didn't intend to, I don't know if I'm going to direct it, but here's a script and I'll produce it and let me get back to you guys. He was like all in. So it's a different story than the way that they typically go from kind of director to director for some, you know, entry. You know, they went from Jon Favreau to Shane Black for Iron Man 3. It's like we need some fresh blood. It's like everything was going fine with Guardians until this thing happened, until the firing happening. So, my opinion of it is, I think that if you were going to do these characters, don't do them in another movie. I think that Guardians, the characters themselves, deserve a part 3. Whether it's Gunn or somebody else.
So you don't want to see their stories ended off in Avengers 4.
No, and I don't think it will. I think Avengers 4 will be, you know, the snap being undone, but I think Gamora's still going to be dead. And I believe that Guardians 3 is Gamora, let's go save her from the Soul Realm, from the Soul Stone. I think that Guardians 3 is going to be, because James Gunn's talked about it. The first one is a group of people becoming a family. The second one is them sort of working through family trauma and healing.
Yeah.
And the third one is, if you follow Peter Quill, like the second one is him kind of being the head of a family and kind of keeping the group together as opposed to like forming it in the first place. The third one's going to be relationship. The third one's going to be what's been happening specifically with Gamora, a romantic relationship. What's been happening with Peter and Gamora in these 3 movies from their beginning. Like, it makes the most sense for that to be the culmination of the thing. So I don't want them to just be like, and now here's a Silver Surfer movie. Oh, the Guardians are in it. Like, and we're going to wrap up their thing. Give them their own movie. But I also think that if Marvel is able to pull this off, and I think if anybody can pull this off, it would be that studio. Wait years. And when they come back, it's a big deal. And especially like have James Gunn come back so that like Dave Bautista's 100% on board. You know, that kind of shit of like everybody's back, everybody's happy. You know, I don't think that thankfully the Guardians storyline has not needed to be woven into the MCU storyline up to this point. It's just been the Guardians. Now we're meeting Kurt Russell. Oh, Thanos. Fuck. But then once they bounce back out of Thanos,
they're back out in the galaxy.
They're back out in the galaxy. Even like with what Part 2 set up with Aisha being like, I shall call him Adam. It's like that's a completely whenever they get to Adam Warlock, that's Guardians 3, and that's it.
And that was another movie that they were suggesting.
Yeah, it's like you don't need Adam Warlock in Avengers 4. Like that's not what they set that up to bring him in to do, where you need all these moving pieces and stuff. So I don't know what else said that article. I didn't even look at the article.
Well, the final thing they were suggesting is if you wanted to explore the cosmic realm, is you could do the Nova Corps. Richard Rider or whatever.
Oh, for sure. I would do a Nova movie for sure. I would do Sam Alexander. I would shortcut Richard Rider and I would include him in some way, but I would do Sam Alexander being recruited. Look at that. Yeah, bring back John C. Reilly. Keep him alive, even though Xandar got decimated. Like,
in the beginning.
Keep him alive. Maybe like him and Glenn Close made it, but a bunch of
Xandarians.
I mean,
they have contingency plans for this kind of thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nova Prime.
Yeah,
that would be great too. I want to see this. Like that stuff looks cool. Ravagers would be dope.
I want to see it just for that character and helmet design. Like the helmet design that they came up with in that movie is so cool that I just want to see that. Like that's just me though.
Can you imagine a little kid, a little like half Mexican, half white kid that lands on this planet from Earth, from Arizona, and fucking John C. Reilly's like, oh, who are you supposed to be? And he's like, I'm Sam Alexander. Have you seen my dad? What the hell is going on? Like I'm 14. He's like, oh yeah, you where are you supernova? What are you? And he's just like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, is Bobcat Goldthwait?
Yeah. You gotta, hey kid, you gotta, really gotta get in there. Yeah, that's my terrible Bobcat Goldthwait.
That was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it's murder. It's the worst.
Yeah, I think that would
thing
be
of all you could do is murder.
And Kermit the Frog.
And Kermit the Frog altogether.
That's who John C. Reilly sounds like a little. That's just not me.
No, it's
he's a little Kermity.
Little Kermity.
That's that Dr.
Dave Brule. That's
Steve Brule.
Steve Brule.
Oh my God.
Just a bunch of hunks.
Christ. But I'm really curious to see what happens with this Guardians franchise, how they're going to close it out. And I would like to see some finality to these characters' stories.
They earned it.
Yeah, they've earned it.
Absolutely.
I think they've made such a huge contribution to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It would feel like a betrayal to not close out their stories in some ways. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Closing this off, I'm so excited for this Elseworlds crossover on the CW.
Oh,
it's kind of ridiculous.
Be nuts.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be nuts.
It's gonna be insane. So we got a photo the other day. Stephen Amell posted this. And this photo in particular that you're looking at right now, this came from Mark Guggenheim, the producer. And he said in all of his 7 years, he never thought that like they would come to this moment. John Wesley Shipp is back as the Flash.
The modern Flash.
Like the 90s Flash is back in modern time.
Yeah.
And we got a little glimpse of it. I remember when Barry goes through the Time Force in season 2.
Yes, or whenever it was.
It
was part of the multiverse. It's part of the
multiverse.
Earths. Yeah.
He's going through and he sees John Wesley Shipp's the Flash inside of the Time Force. This was so sick because I thought, oh, this is really cool that they're like paying homage and paying respects to the other iterations of these characters that have happened. The fact that this photo showed up on my Twitter feed the other day, I almost lost my shit.
Dude.
Because I love
crazy.
the John Wesley Shipp Flash show.
Look at those pics.
And then it was revealed that like Stephen Amell is going to be the Flash.
Yeah.
Grant Gustin is going to be the Arrow in this Elseworld crazy crossover.
Grant Gustin was pissed that like this photo of all them standing there.
I would be pissed too, though.
Is John Wesley Shipp in the Flash costume from 1990, and Grant Gustin
is
normally
fucking
the Flash.
Green Arrow.
He's in a Green Arrow costume. He's like, fuck, man, I'm in a Green Arrow costume.
He's like, fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
The one time that like John Wesley Shipp is on the show as the Flash, it's like
Stephen Amell that gets to be in the Flash costume next to the Flash.
Yeah. Look, this 90s Flash suit is still fucking rad 30 years later.
I think it's better than the one that Stephen Amell has on.
Stephen Amell looks like an out of shape college kid next to the Flash.
It's like, oh hey man, did you go to Party City? And then he's standing next to the Flash. It does not look great. I hope they're gonna do some post on that.
I'm so excited about this thing, man.
It's so cool.
It's coming out in December. It's gonna be Supergirl, the Flash, and Arrow, and we're gonna have Batwoman. We know that, but like Superman,
seeing the black suit Superman out there.
This is the thing about the Berlanti-verse and Greg Berlanti and all the people that work with him. Whenever the movies say, oh, we can't do this thing, it's crazy, it's ridiculous, it's going to confuse the audience, Greg Berlanti goes, hold my poodle. And he does it. And it's so fucking cool because all of us who know the comic book universe, who know the lore, and maybe are not even like that invested in the comic books, we still look at that stuff and we go, I know what that's from. I've seen that before. That's really cool that they're doing it. The fact that they are even doing a multiverse, that they're doing Elseworlds, they're bringing in other versions of the Flash. When John Wesley Shipp showed up and it was revealed that he was Jay Garrick from Earth 3 or Earth 2.
Yes,
Earth 2?
Yeah.
2.
Earth 2.
Yes.
I thought that was so cool that they played with that whole idea of like keeping John Wesley Shipp on the show but playing something else.
Right.
And now that they're bringing him as the 90s Flash is so sick. So I'm totally on board with what they're doing on these shows. I think they've like earned it at this point because they can do all these explorations of all these different universes, and now we're going to have Superman and the Flash and Green Arrow and Supergirl. It's so sick.
Too, with John Wesley Shipp, this will never happen, but what it makes me think of is like, oh shit, if they wanted to, they could back up a truck of money and get Michael Keaton in a Batman suit and show up because that is in one of the multiverse. You know what I mean? They could put Linda Carter in a what would Wonder Woman wear now if Linda Carter was Wonder Woman and she was aging normally. You know, in the modern day, what would Linda Carter Wonder Woman wear today? If Christopher Reeve were alive, I feel like Christopher Reeve and he was not paralyzed, he would you know,
absolutely.
he would be in this.
He would be in
you know what I mean?
He'd be like that older.
And what it does is it pays homage to like the history of DC in film and in television in like the best way, and especially because the John Wesley Shipp suit is 1990, so I'm like, that's 89 Batman. It's the Danny Elfman theme. Like it makes me think of that stuff.
Better show up. That'd be so sick. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose it.
Oh,
when I watch this shit.
It will.
It'd be great if they just got all those people. I mean, even Brendan Routh's Superman should be in there.
Well, that's what they were talking about. Tom Welling Superman, Michael Rosenbaum, Lex Luthor.
Here's the crazy thing. So there have been set photos from the shoot from all these different episodes of this Elseworld crossover. The stuff with Superman and Lois or Clark and Lois, it's shot on the set where they shot the Kent farm on Smallville.
Yeah.
If there's a point at this show where Tom Welling like comes in as Superman, I don't think it'll happen because he was very much he had no interest in playing Superman. He always just wanted to be Clark Kent.
Yeah.
But holy shit. If that was the one time that they were like, come on, Tom, here's a truckload of money, and he's like, well, Lucifer got canceled, so let's do it.
Let's do this, or
who's the
guy who plays Lex Luthor?
Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah, Michael Rosenbaum. He's been making his rounds in sort of like the podcast world.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his podcast is great.
Which makes me think that like maybe he's like just getting out there for exposure because he might be doing something.
And they're bringing Lex Luthor into Supergirl.
What if he dope?
It's not going to happen. But like, pie in the sky if they're like Michael Rosenbaum returns as Lex Luthor.
I hope he does not have to shave his head.
No.
I think
he'll do what he did at the season finale, or series finale of Smallville.
Oh, he did. They put a ball cap.
They put a ball cap.
Oh, right on. Okay, good for him. Good for him. Good for him.
But yeah, I mean, CW is crazy and it's ridiculous. But like,
Dean Cain, Superman, like all of that stuff.
I respect the hell out of them for at least being like, you know what, fuck it. Let's do it.
Yep.
The CW is basically becoming the DC network.
Yeah. Basically.
TV network.
Yeah.
And there were those rumors about a Superman show. At this point, I'm not against it. I'd be down. I'd be so down.
Yeah. Fuck it. Let's throw all the money at Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, that's
Let's
right.
Get
Lucifer
him
got
back.
moved to Netflix. That's right.
Oh, he got moved to Netflix?
Yeah.
With the
bring back Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
I was going to say bring back Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze,
I'm back
dude.
to freeze you all.
Come on.
hey man, if you can play the Terminator 15 times,
yeah, exactly.
You can play Mr. Freeze
and he's
once
working
more.
out again, so he's ripped and he could do it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that crossover. I think it's gonna be a whole lot of fun. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
You guys got any? We talked about a little bit. Any Halloween? It sucks that our show next week is gonna be like literally the day after Halloween.
It's okay. There'll be passed out people all over the floor.
Yeah, there'll be people who will be like hungover, and there'll be candy and shit all over the place.
Yeah, this place will be a mess.
So we hope you guys have an excellent Halloween. Have a lot of fun this weekend.
Give out comic books.
Give out comic.
That's
give
what
out
Hector does
books.
actually.
Yeah.
He gives out comic books.
Give out comic books if you have single issues. Make sure that they're appropriate for kids and give them out. And
no one's gonna question the safety of a comic book.
No.
I mean, no, the safety, no. But like, you can open up a comic book and be like, penises. Like, like just make
the
sure
bat
that
penis just made an appearance. So.
Exactly. Don't give him Batman Damned. Don't do that. But go get some like friendly, or I would say like maybe rated T for teen is like kind of Marvel and DC's like their own self rating. They have them right there on the little barcode. Like it's gonna be fine, but just flip through, make sure, and hand that shit out, and get some kids hooked on comics.
Yeah,
maybe old toys that you don't want anymore.
Yeah,
just like be nice to them little kids.
Yeah, but don't make it cheap. Like, I don't know, here's a fucking.
No,
I
I'm
want this
saying,
Henry
like,
Superman
remember
figure.
you had so many extra figures that you were trying to sell?
Yeah.
Just pop one of those in a kid's bag. He's gonna love it.
It's fucking Christmas on Halloween.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I know, man. Yeah, it is. It should be.
It'll be a good time. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you everybody in the chat room who stuck around to watch another week of Hyper Heroes. Thank you guys so much. Also on Wednesday we are having a Hyper Drive here at Hyper RPG. You can watch all day on Twitch, twitch.tv/HyperRPG. A lot of fun, spooky stuff happening. It'll be a good time. In the meantime, we will catch you guys next week. See ya.